Recently started the new reviews feature for Spooky Ventures, and I'm going to do another older review for the second edition. It's a movie called One Dark Night, and I'm reviewing this because it's actually a movie I like a lot. And the funny thing is, if you look around, it's gotten some really terrible reviews over the years, and it really is almost a forgotten gem in my book because you don't ever hear anybody talking about it. Now, are there some things to going against it? You bet. Every movie has things going against it. This one might have more than others in some ways. But the story itself and the creep factor are just so good that I think you can overlook that stuff. Um, for one thing, it's incredibly low budget. You can obviously tell that in the way the scenes kind of switch and just some basic things about it. You can tell the budget was not there to do a really expensive feature. And they hired Adam West to be one of the characters, which tells you they probably used a decent amount of the budget to pay for him. And now the thing about Adam West, I'm a huge Batman fan from the old TV series. I grew up on that, and it was one of my favorites. And I love Adam West. Adam West was just a character in and of himself, and seemed like the genuine article. But he wasn't the best actor in the world. And other than another star of the movie, Meg Tilly, who wasn't really star material back then, Adam West probably puts in the best performance of the bunch. And like I said, he was never the worst actor out there, but he's clearly not the best actor out there either. And the fact that he really shines as one of the best in the movie kind of tells you what you need to know about the rest of the acting in the film. So let's get to the rest of the movie, though. This came out in the 80s. It's got a lot of the 80s tropes of, sorority sisters or group type thing like that, with one team wanting to fit in with the others and initiation. And but there's some supernatural side to it, and there's also animated corpses. And for the time period, I remember seeing it in the theater, and for the time period, it was actually pretty gory for its time. Sure, now it seems really tame, but everything's ramped up since then. But there are really some good scares in the movie. The story works pretty darn well. There are a couple characters who you rather like. There are a couple characters who you really hate. But all in all, it's a pretty decent film. I mean, it's never going to be something that's considered a first class movie. I don't think it was ever intended for that. It was a B movie when it was made. But as B movies go, I'd say it stands pretty tall. So when you get the chance, check out One Dark Night. I know you may have never heard of it because it really is largely unknown. And if you go look at reviews, you're going to see a ton of terrible reviews. It really doesn't deserve the terrible reviews. It's not that bad. It's actually, I mean, I'd consider it one of my favorite films, actually. And the thing is, I can recognize the problems with the movie and still appreciate it because it's that creepy and that spooky of a story. And I like a good spooky story. And it's a little bit outside the box, too. I mean, it's not your typical, I mean, yeah, they're animated bodies, but they're not really zombies. It's supernatural, but in a different way. It's just overall, I don't know, it has a good tone and a rather original idea behind it. Um, and you gotta love a movie that's filmed largely in a mausoleum anyway, right? So check out One Dark Night. I know you're gonna say there are terrible reviews, but give it a try anyway. Spooky Ventures is the home for spooky content and spooky merchandise on the web. Check it out today at spookyventures.com. And remember, always keep it spooky.